What's up guys, David with Jupi Outdoors here, and today we're going to talk about air quality inside your RV. So let's get to it. So when it comes to air quality inside your RV, a lot of us have an issue with, you're at a campground, there's a lot of campfires going sometimes some of that smoke, some of those smoke odors will get inside your RV. If it's ever happened to you, you know that smell can linger for quite a while. There's just a lot of allergens, there's a lot of impurities in the air that get inside your RV and are kind of stuck in here because of such a tiny space. So the product we're going to talk about today is the AIRLOCK Air Purification System. AIRLOCK reached out to us to see if we'd be interested in reviewing this product for them. As I do with any product that reaches out to us, I do a lot of research on it to see if it's something, number one, that I feel like is a legitimate product that would benefit us and the RV community. And AIRLOCK really fits the bill when it comes to that. They were originally designed for the marine industry, for boats, liveaboard boats, like yachts, motor yachts. Boats have a lot of problems with fuel smell. They have water down in the bottom, in the bilge area of the boats, which leads to a lot of very not good smells in a boat. So that's originally what that product was designed for. And upon doing my research, I found a ton of posts about the AIRLOCK system, and they were overwhelmingly positive. There was one forum that just had just pages and pages of very, very good reviews of people that have bought the AIRLOCK air purification system, installed it in their boat's AC system, to the point where there was one particular post on there that talked about the guy's wife refused to stay on the boat overnight because of how bad and how strong some of the odors were on the boat. And after installing this, now they take multiple day trips and she stays on the boat with him with no issues. So it's just stories like that I kept seeing repeatedly. So it's definitely a product that I think would cross over to the RV industry very, very well. If you have allergies, our son has allergies, I have some allergies. If you're traveling around in all the different parts of the country, keeping the air quality inside your RV as good as you can is very important. So the way this system works, and I'm not going to get way off into the weeds on the science behind it and why it works the way it does. I'm going to leave a link to AIRLOCK's website in the description. They do a fantastic job really breaking down the science behind why this works and why it works so well. But essentially what it does is this product is going to release positively and negatively charged ions into our air conditioning system. So it's going to mount inside the AC. It's hardwired in, and those positively and negatively charged ions essentially neutralize all of the contaminants that cause odors, the pollutants that are in the air. The positively and negatively charged ions basically neutralize all that to keep that air clean. It clumps those particulates together. That way they can be trapped in your AC filters. So I don't know how great of a job I did explaining that. The main thing I want to show you guys is just how simple this product is to install. So that's what we're going to do right now. So we're going to go ahead and open up this AIRLOCK. So I'm going to have a card in here. Going to have a little caution card to make sure that you're turning your power off. You want to make sure that these carbon fiber brushes that emit the positively and negatively charged ions are at least 2 inches away from any metal or any wires up inside the AC unit. So this is what it is. You can see we have the actual unit itself, and then we have our wiring. It's going to hardwire into the AC system. The way this is going to mount, it comes with a plate that has 3M tape on the back of it. So this 3M tape is going to allow you to either stick this inside there. You can mount it horizontally, you can mount it vertically. It doesn't really matter which orientation that it's mounted, but it has these strong magnets on the back, so you can use this metal plate to actually just magnet that up inside your AC system. If you need the magnets to mount here, you can take them off, mount them here, and then it comes with a wider plate to allow you to magnet it, install it with the magnets there. So we're going to get our AC system opened up and see what works best. If you don't want to use the magnetic plate, you can remove these and remove the magnets and actually screw it right into the AC system up in there somewhere, or you can use these mounting slots here to mount it. So a lot of different options for mounting it. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to turn the power off to the AC and go ahead and take that apart and see what kind of room we're working with, and figure out how we're going to wire this in. So our system is a Coleman AC unit, probably one of the most popular units used in an RV, but they're all going to be very similar. So this installation is going to be specific really for this Coleman Mach AC unit in our Grand Design. So it's also going to look a little different in here because we've already done some modifications inside here to direct the airflow right into the ducts. So this may look a little different than yours, but the side, the return side that we're going to be talking about is going to be, should be the same no matter what. Our modifications didn't really affect that at all. So on your AC system, if you haven't done any modification to it, after you take the outside 4 screws out to drop your cover off, there's going to be another plate under here that you'll have to remove. If you're curious how to do this modification, we've actually got a video on this as well about modifying your AC system to make it more efficient. Alright, so this is what we're looking at. This is the return side of the AC, so this is where our air gets sucked back up into. You can see the wiring up in here is pretty atrocious, the way most of them are. What we're going to try to do is mount our airlock over back here on this piece of wood. That's a good spot to mount it. We're going to get some screws, probably just screw it in. I'll probably just screw it in right here, and then we will wire it up to our control box for power. So you can see kind of in relation to the return, these ion emitters, which are these 2 carbon fiber poles sticking out, are supposed to be 2 inches away from any metal surfaces or any wiring. So we'll just mount this kind of up in here high enough to where those are away from everything. I'll take this opportunity to kind of tie up some of this wiring so that it doesn't sag down, and just kind of clean that up a little bit. To get this control box out, it's really not that difficult. There is a lot of wiring up here, but you're going to have just the one main plug that goes to the air conditioner, and then all the rest of these plugs can stay intact. And then we have a clip up here that's going to come off, and then a clip on the other side the same way. So first thing we're going to do, unplug that cord. Then we're going to reach up here. This clip is just going to squeeze and pull right off. So that's the clip here. Same thing on the other side. Clip number 2. And now that control box is loose and ready to come out of there. Alright, so now we've got our control box out. To open this up, to be able to get inside of it, there's going to be some tabs on this side. So we're just going to push that tab and pop the back door off. So now we have the back door off, and that's going to give us access to the inside, which is what we need to be able to wire up our airlock. So the two wires we're going to need a neutral wire and then our hot wire, which on this system, on your AC electrical, is going to be your white wire and your black wire. These are not going to coincide to the colors on the airlock. The airlock has a red and a black, but that is not, which is typically what you would see in a DC electrical system. But the airlock is not DC. It needs to be wired to a 110 volt power source. So this is what we're going to use here. So you can see they just use these these clip style connectors. So we're just going to unclip that and remove it, and we're going to wire in ours and put some heavy duty wire nuts on there to attach everything back together. All right, so we're going to clip our zip tie off so we can, and you can see, I mean, there's plenty of wire. I mean, there's a long, they give you plenty of wire to reach this wherever you need to reach it to. So we are not going to use these connectors, so we're going to clip these off. Now we'll just strip these back. So on this airlock system, the red wire is going to be the hot wire, the black wire is going to go to your neutral. So the red wire is actually going to go to our black wire in our control box, and the black wire will go to the white wire in our control box. So I'm going to use these yellow wire nuts to put all this back together. So let's see if we can get these to where they'll all fit back in here a little nicer than what they've got it. And again, make sure that you've got the breaker off to your AC unit before you start doing this. Otherwise, you will probably electrocute yourself. Right, so there is our red wire connected to the black hot wire, and now our black wire will connect to our white neutral. So now we'll just curl these up, get them back inside the box, and then the next thing we're going to do is just cut a little notch in the control box so that our wiring can come through. So I want to be able to get our back cover back on this, so I'm just going to cut a little notch right here in the control box in the plastic so that our wiring can sit in and our cover will go back on. So I'm just going to take a pair of side cutters. I mean, nothing fancy here. We're just going to just snip a notch in there. Snip a notch in there. And then just kind of fold that up. And now we've got us a little notch where our wiring can sit in and the back cover will go back on. So we're going to snap that back cover back on. Back cover's snapped on. Our wiring's coming out here. So now, before I put this back in there, I'm going to try to straighten some of this out and see how we're going to zip tie this all back together to keep it up and out of the way. Alright, so I've got the control box back installed. I've got my wiring off to the side over here. I mean, there's not a lot of room up in here and it's a lot of wires to try to deal with. So I just kind of grouped them all together here. Tried to run them over to one side of the return. That way it would leave this whole center section really open with nothing above it. That's probably honestly a better setup anyway. I was real careful, made sure that all of my low voltage wires stayed plugged in, didn't come off. Made sure the freeze sensor stayed installed in the fins of the coil. So everything's in there. Now we're gonna mount that airlock right there. All right, so I'm gonna use the slotted holes on the side. I'm gonna hold this up here where it should go. I'm gonna mark it there. So now I've got our holes marked where we're going to put our screws. So it comes with some mounting screws for you. All right, we have our screws in there. Now, we're just going to slide the airlock down over it, tighten those screws up to hold it up. And that's it. It's mounted. When we turn the power on, the way we're going to know if this is wired up properly, there's a little purple light on the bottom. That purple light will light up. That'll let you know that the unit is on and functioning. So I'm going to get these wires tied up. Then we'll turn the power on and make sure we get a purple light. All right, there's our purple light. So we know that the unit's on, it's functioning. It's not close to any metal or any wiring. All that stuff's out of the way. I'm going to not forget to take my flashlight down that I stuck up here so I can see. Alright, so there it is. That's the installation, not difficult at all. So as you can see, super simple installation. I mean, it seems a little intimidating because you have to hardwire it into your AC system. They do have an excellent instructional video and there's a QR code you can scan that will take you to the installation instructions for either a boat or an RV. But the other way you can wire it in is you can wire it into the power going to your AC fan so that there's not power going to it all the time. It only basically comes on when your fan comes on. That's not the way I want to do it in our situation. I was happy with just wiring it up so it's on all the time. Either way is fine. They don't recommend one way versus another. It's really personal preference or whatever's easier in your application. But on this Coleman Mach AC unit, just going straight into the control panel and wiring it up there is as you can see, I mean, it's 2 wires, cut a notch out of the box, and you're good to go. So I'm really excited to use this. We'll definitely do a follow-up to this video after a few months of using it, see how things are going with it. If you're interested in the AIRLOCK product, want to take a look at it a little bit closer, you can go to AirLockPurifierUSA.com. And if you decide to purchase one, if you use the code JOUPPI, that's JOUPPI, then that'll save you $30 on your purchase. I'm also going to leave a link, like I said in the description, to their website, to their FAQ page, to answer any questions that you might have. That also explains again how the positively and negatively charged ions interact with impurities in the air to clean your air. And then also a link if you would like to purchase. You can click on that link in the description as well. All right, that's going to do it. Appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you guys down the road.